Hey there, seventh grade. We're at the end of the quarter, and that means that's the end of your seventh grade STEAM class with me. The end of your Lego Mindstorm Robotics, and as kind of a preview of coming attractions, is kind of a teaser for your next year STEAM class. I wanted to provide you with a little bit of insight into something that we'll be working on next year. So this year we did a lot with Lego Mindstorm Robotics. Next year you'll be doing some work in VEX robotics, right? So we have some VEX IQ robots, and you will be building and programming a VEX IQ robot, just like you built and programmed a Lego Mindstorms robot this year. So this is a kind of a preview of what you'll do there, but kind of also just a little bit of different stuff, but some coding that you can do. It's an easy transitional kind of. Here's some code you can write. This is what it'll look like to some degree to program in VEX and that kind of thing. One of the nice things about programming in VEX, especially when compared to the program that we did this year with the Lego Mindstorms, is VEX is pretty much, if you're looking at it, it looks a lot like Scratch, right? So it's a programming language, a block-based programming language that's a little more familiar to us, a little bit more like what we're used to seeing in a programming language. So in some ways, that's a benefit for the programming you'll do in VEX. Nonetheless, this is what we're looking at. Basic assignment is this. I want you to use your robot to draw a picture, and that picture must include at least 6 lines. So those are the very basic requirements of you, and that's the basic assignment. Now, you're looking and you're like, I don't see a robot. How am I going to know if it draws a picture with 6 lines? So first thing I would tell you to do is click right over here where it says playground, right? So upper right corner of the screen, there's a box that says playground. If you click on that playground, that gives you this, which is giant, right? So let's see if we can shrink that bad boy. So this is, again, a screen that includes your robot and then kind of a grid plane where that robot is and will move around. So basically, this gives you an area where you can see what the robot's doing based on the program that you give that robot to run. So we'll look at a couple things here. First thing I'm going to do is just put some code in there, right? And the first thing, a couple things that are really important here in terms of how we program this. One is this block right here, move pen down. If you don't move the robot pen down, then the robot pen is not in a drawing position. Your robot's not going to draw. So that's a really important block. And then this next one here, set robot pen color to. That's going to be a pretty important block too. And I would tell you to use a color you like. My favorite color is red, so I'm just going to go there. Now, some of you may have wanted to move before you put your robot pen down, or move after and then pick the robot pen up. All those are possibilities to you, right? You can, instead of programming it for down, you can program it for up. So you can pick the pen up, draw, move, put the pen down, draw, pick the pen up, move again, put the pen back down, draw again. So you can do all kinds of things. It depends on what you're looking to do in your program. Here, I'm going to do something just really simple, right? I'm going to go drive forward for 200 millimeters, and then I'm going to turn right for 90 degrees. Then I'm going to drive forward for 200 millimeters, and then I'm going to turn left for 90 degrees, right? So basically, what I should see in my robot when I do that, I'm going to push play here. You see the robot going up, turning, and going left, right? So that's all it did. It made basically a tiny little stair step. Now, if I want that to be a bigger stair step, I can go to Control and bring in a loop, right? So I'll bring a loop in and put all that code in that loop, and I'll set this loop to run, I don't know, 7's a good number. 7's one of my favorite numbers. So I'll run that loop 7 times, and I click play, and the robot moves incredibly slowly. So one of the things that's great about this robot is we can change how it moves, right? And right here, for instance, set drive velocity. I'm going to drag one of those blocks in. And I'm going to set turn velocity, drag that block in too. I'm going to set both of those to 100 so that it's going as fast as it can go, right? But you can see again, here's the code that I'm writing, basically just building that stair step, one little stair step at a time. Now, did I draw a picture? Yeah, right. Does it have at least 6 lines? Yeah, absolutely. Right. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, a bunch. Right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. I actually do some math to figure out how there are 14 lines there. So all of that fits within the requirement. If this was the code you wanted to do and you didn't want to do anything else, take a screenshot of this where I can see both your picture and your code, submit that screenshot to the exit ticket, and you're ready to go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a couple others. So I've worked on a couple. I'm going to load from my device. So if you save some code to your device, you can load it from your device. And I know this one is one that I liked a lot. And this basically, this code is the code to draw a house, right? So a house might be something that you want to draw. This house specifically is one that I remember from being a kid about your age. There's like a challenge, draw this shape without picking up your pen or drawing over a line more than once, right? Um, and I remember that as a kid. Not that that's great memories, but I do. So here I'm pushing play, and here's my robot. It's moving at 100% velocity. Of course, my picture's right in the way, but now we see what's going on. Let's drag this over so we can see a little bit more. So here's my house. It's drawing that house, but there's an X on the front of the house. So this is like a barn. And if you're looking at this robot and the path that it's leading, that is the answer to the whole like draw the shape without picking up the pen. And you can see the robot moved off so that it wouldn't be in the way of your view of this pretty picture. So that is something else you could do. That's obviously a little more complex than just doing a stair step. And I'll do one more. I'll open one more file that I made. And this is obviously, it's a lot simpler than the house we just built, but we'll see. In this one, again, you've got a repeat block, right? And we've got some drawing going on here. So let's take a look at this one and see what happens. And there we go. We're driving, and now we've drawn green lines, and that's a different angle. Ooh, hexagonal. And there we go. There's my hexagonal drawing in green. And again, this would also meet the criteria. I've got 6 lines, it's a drawing on my paper, and I programmed it. Again, the thing that I would like is a screenshot that includes both your code and your picture. Both those two things in one place is what I'm really looking for. And when you've got that done, submit that screenshot to the exit ticket, and you're ready to go. Again, preview of VEX robotics, and that's what we'll look at a lot more next year in your 8th grade STEAM class. Can't wait to see what you guys do.